one of the things that we've come to know over the last few years is that, especially in the postseason, left-handed power plays. And the Cardinals obviously have a wealth of left-handed power. Some places we'd like it to be a little bit more consistent. But I think as the Cardinals build towards 2027, which is really when they expect to contend for a world championship, I think having that left-handed power is great. And I wonder if they'll be able to keep it all because there's so much.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. I mean, this is a lineup that's really unbalanced, and especially so when Ivan Herrera is out of the lineup, right? And I think we're still in the process, Randy, of finding out what these guys are. Is Nolan Gorman really a true book it 30 home run a year guy? I don't know. I don't think the Cardinals know that yet. He's been better of late. He had a terrific month of June, but we need to see more from him. What is Alec Burleson? Is he streaky up and down? Is the power and the slug against left-handed pitching that we saw last month, is that real? I think we've seen growth as far as that's concerned. Victor Scott's not a power guy. What is Lars Nootbaar? His last 30 games, he's hitting under 170. Yeah, he's been banged up a little bit, but what is Lars Nootbaar? I think that's the whole purpose of this season, is finding out exactly what these guys are, and maybe more importantly, what they aren't. I don't know that the book is out yet on that. There's still 70 games left or so to be played. We've seen flashes of brilliance from all of those guys. But as far as being able to cement in stone, saying, okay, this is what this guy's going to do, this is what we're going to count on for him in 26 or 27, I don't know. At least I don't feel that answer has fully been given quite yet for the Cardinals in 2025.
One of the big conversations around some of those young Cardinals hitters has been Nolan Gorman and his different approach at the plate, pulling back the swing a little bit, giving him more control. Obviously, you're locked in on every pitch. So how apparent is that to you when you're watching Nolan Gorman at bats this year?
Yeah, last year it was so exasperating, right? Look, I say that because I can't hit. That's why I talk about baseball. I can't do what these guys do. But everybody in the ballpark knew last year for Gorman, with 2 strikes, a high fastball was coming, and you knew 7 out of 10 times he was going to swing at it. He might hit it once, but those other times it was pretty much swing and miss. I think it's really apparent that he's done a great job of laying off of that pitch by and large. I think that's been a great source of improvement for him. A telltale sign that he's starting to get it offensively is the base hit he had the other day on the road trip, that line drive to left where he let the ball travel. His hands are quick enough and he's strong enough to hit the ball to all fields. And I would love to see more of our left-handed hitters adopt the Freddie Freeman approach to hitting. I was so spoiled to watch him do that in Atlanta. Freddie Freeman can hit the ball out of the ballpark to all fields, but his best bolt, when he's really on and when he's really hitting left-handed pitching especially, it's a line drive over the shortstop's head into the gap in left center field, because then if they know they can't get him out outside, they come inside, and that's when he turns and hits the ball out to the other side of the field or to the pull side of the field. So as our guys continue to progress, and again, I know it's hard in this Twitter and Facebook instant gratification world we live in. These are all still young players. They don't have a lot of big league experience under the belts, and when you see those moments, you hope they repeat, you hope they carry over, and you hope those lessons stick, because if they do, then you've got a really special group of players wearing your team colors.
And Chip, that brings us to the guy who's pitching tonight, Andre Palante, because he's the pitching version of that, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's had his ups, he's had his downs, he's finding his way, but it seems to me like he has the ability, and he might not be a polished, complete product yet, but he has the ability to be a really good middle of the rotation guy.
Yeah, innings, he throws hard enough. It's getting out right-handers, right? You see he's experimenting on the fly. He's added a sweeper. He's trying out that pitch in big league games that matter. I mean, that's not easy, too. And I think, guys, that's what's really changed about our sport so much. If you think about it, 30 years ago, the finishing school for guys was either AA, AAA, or the bullpen. And, for Palante, it was thought, okay, this is a guy he's a reverse splits guy. He's a righty who gets lefties out, and that's it. Well, he went back down to the minor leagues, worked on some things, came up and became a very credible major league starter. Now the league's adjusted to him, so he has to leapfrog past that adjustment and add things to his arsenal. And with the guys that we have on our staff, most notably Sonny Gray and his velocity and his power sweeper, I can't think of a better guy that Andre could try to learn from to implement that pitch and make it a big, big weapon for him, because there's no question the drive is there, the talent is there, the intellect is there, the durability is there. All that's left to be done is for him to take that step that Matthew Liberatore has taken. And I think the Cardinals feel pretty confident that he's a guy that they can pencil in next year in their rotation. And getting homegrown guys or guys that you acquire young in trade to fill that void instead of having to buy your rotation is a big leg up, I think, for the Cardinals going forward.
Chip, kind of a back and forth season as well, not in kind of the big dips and ups for Brendan Donovan. Obviously, hitting over 300 for the majority of the season, gets moves up in the lineup, and I think coincidentally kind of finally hits the lull that was probably going to hit no matter what. But you've seen a lot of Brendan Donovan over the years. What was the big change? What kind of clicked this year that had him hitting so well? And do you think the pullback has just been a natural kind of regression towards the mean for him?
I think a little bit of both. As far as Donovan's concerned, look, ideally Lars Nootbaar's your leadoff guy. He's a high on base guy, draws a lot of walks. He can lead off the game with a thunderbolt, hit a home run, put you in front, but he provides traffic in that first inning. And Donovan, with his bat-to-ball skills and his ability to drive the baseball to all fields, he's more suited, in my opinion, as a run producer. But the way the lineup is functioning right now, Donovan's probably your best option because of what you saw last night. First pitch home run ties the game. It's 2-2. He goes to right field, and all of a sudden the Cardinals have life. But as far as Donovan's concerned, the change, if I would use that word, I don't know that I would say that quite that way. I think for him, it's just been unshakable consistency in approach. His swing looks the same no matter who's on the mound. He is relentless in how he goes to the batter's box with a game plan every time up there. Yeah, lefties, the real tough lefties give him trouble, but the real good left-handed pitchers give all the good left-handed hitters trouble. So we've seen some of that from Brendan, some of that swing and miss. But as far as being in top 10 in hitting, a guy that gets on base, draws walk, plays flawless defense, I mean, it's understandable why he's an all-star, and it's understandable why I hope the Cardinals feel that he's going to be a cornerstone guy going forward, because he, to me, personifies and epitomizes what a homegrown Cardinal player should be. And hopefully more and more guys will emulate that style of play. I heard you guys talking about J.J. Weatherholt. He seems to be kind of right in that Donovan style mode, albeit as another left-handed hitter who plays the middle infield. But you can't have too many of those good guys. And I'm really, really happy for Brendan and his family.
And Chip, another guy that I hope we as a fan base appreciate, and I know you do, is Pages, because kind of like Brendan Donovan, he seems to be like an old baseball soul. He gets it. He understands. He makes winning plays. He makes all the pitchers that he works with better. And you're around the club every day. And it seems like, just in my limited access to the pitching staff, they just adore Pages.
Yeah, I'm a big a user of musical lyrics to illustrate my point. You guys may not know this about me. I'm a huge fan of Rush and their lyricist Neil Peart, the drummer. And there's a song called Nobody's Hero. And one of the lines that he uses in the song is, what makes someone heroic? And his quote is, the pride of purpose in the unrewarding job. And when you think about Pedro Pages, I can't think of a person who personifies that line more, right? It's a non-glamorous position where you get beat up every single day, both in the batter's box and behind the plate. You are in charge of running your defense. You're in charge of handling your pitching staff and finding out what a guy has working and what he doesn't, and willing a way through that game to see what works. And then, oh, by the way, you're expected to contribute offensively for your team. He is just a pro's pro. He has really taken to this job. He understands what his role is. And quite frankly, on this team, he's not a guy that you would count on to hit 20 home runs and hit 300. That'd be great. Don't misunderstand. But that's not his job. His job is to run the pitching staff and run the defense. And if you think about what's made the Cardinals successful this year, the one consistent has been defensively. They are a very good defensive club. They catch the ball. They throw to the right base. All those winning on the margin things that are done with the baseball defensively. And he's helped nurture this pitching staff through the first 90 games of the season where not a single starter has gone to the IL. That's pretty remarkable in today's game of high spin, high velocity, and high attrition. And I think the way that Pedro Pages calls the game, works the game plan, and works in concert with the great Dusty Blake has a lot to do with that. So you're right. Pedro's a great dude, great player, and a perfect role guy, a glue guy for a team that needs that kind of stuff.